wearing provocative clothes so people notice you? What kind of men are you attracting? And he'll be like, oh, I'm right here, my baby girl, my baby boy. I think I'm being a bit too dramatic, just a tiny bit. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Even if you're single, guys, do not be sad. There is a reason for the season. I feel like that is so cliche. Hello, beautiful people of God. Hi. I hope you all are okay. And yeah, hope you've had a good 2 weeks. To be honest, these past, weeks and all of that have been quite difficult, and like, all the things that are going on. Um, it can make us feel really scared and afraid and to do things that God is calling us to do, but we shouldn't be afraid. We knew this is going to happen. And even if something were to happen to us, we shouldn't be afraid because we will still be going to see our creator. So, like, it's a win win for us. All right. So, let's just keep being bold for the gospel. Okay. Do not be scared. This is the enemy's tactic to get you feeling scared. So, we're not going to give in. All right. We're not going to give into that. We are going to take our stand and be who God has called us to be, to go and spread the gospel and make disciples of all nations. All right, let's get into it now. Today, we're going to be talking about surrender and trusting God in singleness and dating seasons. I don't know if many of us are in singleness seasons, or maybe some of us are in dating seasons, in relationships. Well, I am not in a relationship. So, in case you want to know, I am too single. But hey, you never know. Okay. Like, my husband might be around there somewhere, literally around the corner. Anyways, that's on God's timing, of course, because yeah, I'm just gonna, wait for the best that God has for me. We're not gonna settle. All right. Anyways, so guys, we are gonna start with surrendering your timeline to God. Okay. Okay. So, like, there is this myth of the one and the waiting room mentality where Christians feel they need to find the one, the one, that and that can lead to anxiety and misplaced hope. We all think that there's just one person out there for us. Like, if we do not find them, that's it. Like, it comes in form of thinking that your husband needs to be perfect. He needs to tick off your list that you've made for your husband, and what he should be like, and what he should do, and how he, how tall he should be. And so even when he comes, you might push him away because he does not meet the list you've written down. Like, he might be, your husband might be shorter than you would have wanted. And then, you just push him away because he's not meeting that length or whatever. Like, we always need to remember that it's about how are they following Jesus. Is that fruiting? I remember we talked about this in the very first episode when Maya was still here. And yeah, is there fruiting lives? Are they showing that they are following God with their whole hearts? It's not about physical appearance, okay? Because God looks at the hearts. And singleness is not a waiting room, by the way, but it is a purposeful season in itself, and let's not get into the mentality of thinking that we are single because God is preparing us to be wives and husbands. I mean, he might be working on that too, but like, what he will always focus on in seasons like this is that he wants to transform our hearts to become more like Jesus, to become holy, like, um just because you're single, don't think that, oh yeah, God's main reason is for you to like to prepare you to become a husband or a wife. We need to always pray according to God's will, and God's will is that he makes us more like Jesus, that he transforms us from within, right? So we need to trust in God's timing. Yeah, let us talk about that now. Like, we shouldn't trust in our own timings. Like, it can definitely be difficult to wait when it feels like everyone else is getting married. Like literally, I see weddings all over the internet, and then there is me who is not even in a relationship. And I feel like like even people older than me, especially, they can feel like, wow, I'm at this age, I'm 30, and I do not have a husband, something like that. And the enemy can use that to compare ourselves to other people and all of that, and steal our joy. But the pressure, it can definitely be real. It is definitely so real. And due to that pressure, we might even bend our values and faith just because we want someone so bad, just because we feel too lonely, just because they're pretty, you know, even if they're not Christian, just because they're nice, they're sweet. We're not even looking at their hearts at this point. We don't care anymore because our timeline, time is running out. We need to be married. Like we shouldn't do that. Okay, let us leave that to Jesus, to God, to take us to where He wants to take us when He wants to bring those people into our lives. Okay, and also, you shouldn't settle because you just feel too alone, especially during the seasons of like autumn, winter is coming around, and then you feel like, oh my goodness, I need someone to cuddle up with. And then you start, looking everywhere, seeking validation, wearing provocative clothes so people can like beat you up, posting things on Instagram and on the internet to, make men notice you. You need to remember, what kind of men are you attracting? So we shouldn't go into this whole thing with that mentality of yeah, my time is running out, that I need to hurry up and find someone, or else it's gonna be too late. We need to go into it in a way of surrender, in a way of knowing that God knows our heart's desires, and He will bring them in His perfect timing. I don't know if you've read the story of Isaac and Rebecca, but Isaac literally waited and surrendered his desire for a wife, and he trusted God and his father as well, Abraham, to look for a wife for him, because Abraham didn't want him getting married to all these pagan women. So he said, you know what, my son, I'm just gonna look for a wife for you. So he sends out a servant, and they find Rebecca, and he loved her. So he didn't literally go out to look for Rebecca. I'm not saying sit back, wait at home until your man comes at your door with flowers and a boombox and confesses his love for you, just because you're just waiting for God to bring him literally at your door. When God says wait, He does not mean literally do not do anything. Of course, put yourself out there, but like do not go into it with a posture of impatience or like, God, give me a spouse. Just surrender that desire to God. Leave it at His feet, and don't idolize it, because the moment you do that, God is going to take that out of your life. That even if you find someone and you're putting them above God, I feel like God always answers those prayers when you say, you know what, Lord, if he's not the one, take him out of my life. And then go take them out of your life, because maybe you're idolizing them. Maybe you're idolizing the idea of having a husband or a wife, and do not hold on tightly. Like, just leave room for God to move. Yeah, let God's will be done in your life as you wait for Him to guide you to His best for you. Like, do not sit back and wait at home, but as you move, let Him guide you. Like, be led by the Holy Spirit, not by your feelings. Those emotions are real, and you can just emotionally fall into something just because you like someone. But most times, it's not even from God. Other times we just want to follow our hearts. Remember, the heart is deceitful, and the only person that we need to be waiting on for guidance is the Holy Spirit, because He knows best. Yeah, so surrender it, trust in God's timing, not your own. Let's just navigate the dating world with a surrendered heart as well, for those people in relationships. I have never been in a godly relationship before, and I'm really, really, really excited to see how that would go. Like, I'm waiting for that one day, but I want to wait in a way of like surrender, of not idolizing that I want to be in a relationship, Like, of course, I would want to find love, but I do not want it more than I want God, Dating with intention and purpose. There is like a huge contrast between the worldly approach for dating with a God centered one as well. As Christians, we should date with the goal of glorifying God, whether that relationship leads to marriage or not. The power of a surrendered prayer life as well. Like we need to pray specifically for a future spouse or for wisdom in a current relationship. We need to pray for our own hearts more than for a specific outcome. Like even when you want that person to like propose to you or whatever, you want them to like start talking about marriage with you, or you're getting impatient and then you start praying like, Lord, bring me a spouse. Like let this person be my spouse by next year. Like there is a difference between that prayer and this prayer. Lord, help me trust your timing with my singleness. Cultivate patience and contentment in my heart and align my desires with your perfect will. Now that's a prayer of surrender, a prayer of not holding tight onto what you want, a prayer that you're praying for your heart, like you're praying for what God would want you to pray about. Like his will is to transform us, to sanctify us, to make us more like Jesus. And that is a prayer he would answer. Definitely would not say no to. It's a prayer of surrender, not of demand, like commanding him, oh yeah, Lord, if you do not do this, I'm out. You know, he does not work like that. He's going to do things in his own terms because he's God, okay? And he loves you, by the way. It's like a prayer like Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he says, not my will, but yours be done. He didn't say, God, just take this away from me. I don't want to do it, you know. Of course, he did say that, but he ended that prayer with, not my will, though, but yours be done. He knew that was his Father's will to save us on that cross. So we need to pray with surrendered hearts too. And even when you don't know how to pray like that, ask God to help you learn how to pray with a surrendered heart, a heart that does not hold tight onto things, onto what we want. Even when you're rejected, it's okay to feel those feelings of rejection, but it's always God's protection when you're rejected, kind of thing, if you know what I mean. Or if they ghost you out of the blue, do not worry. God will turn that around to for your good, because he knows best. Like he knew that would happen, and he has a plan for that too. So even when they reject you, do not go back home and sulk. Just bring it to God and trust that he is gonna bring that person for you, like that real person that he has for you. We need to also set God honoring boundaries in relationships. Like, we need to set practical boundaries, emotional, physical, and spiritual, that are essential for a surrendered dating life. Yeah. For example, discuss that God has to be your first love, both of you who are in relationships. Let him be your first love and not the person you're dating. We have this, this thing where we like, we found the man, and then we put them like above God. We put those relationships above God. We shouldn't do that. Our emotions should have boundaries. Like, let everything love God first, everything in you. Like, we shouldn't make the people that we're dating take the place of God, And we need to remember that everything passes away. Even that man, even that woman will pass away, but God will never pass away. So you need to set your priorities, right? Like, is it that man? Is it that woman? Or is it God? you know think about that. It's quite dangerous. We often fall into it as well, and it's real. Like, we need to always make sure we are guarding our hearts in that way, not to be emotionally driven, but be Holy Spirit driven in relationships. And also, guys, let's talk about the season of singleness, where we should be thriving. Even if you're single, guys, do not be sad. Do not grumble. There is a reason for the season. I feel like that is so cliche because everyone says it. I don't really. What? I mean, it is true though. Like, there is a reason for every season. Like, I don't know. Anyways, like, we need to embrace the season, you know, as a gift. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, there in First Corinthians 7, Paul explains how um there is undivided devotion to the Lord in singleness. It's a unique opportunity for ministry, for service, and deep intimacy with God. Like, you get to know your God more, you get to serve other people, you get to serve church, you get to go after your calling, you get to go, to find who you are, your purpose, who God is. You like just grow in that. You get to do his work with him. You allow him to transform you. So just do not be mad. Come on. Instead, replace that with gratitude and ask him for strength to wait well in the seasons, even as you wait. Of course, he knows your heart desire. He created us with his emotions, with his feelings, with his desires, and he will fulfill them. But if he hasn't brought that person yet, just thrive in the season. Thank him for that season. Be grateful, because the more you be grateful, the more the grumbling and the comparison and all of that will all just go away. So let us always be grateful for the seasons that God has put us in, for the seasons that God has us in. Let us steward our singleness seasons very well as well for the kingdom. Like, we need to view these single years not as a void to be filled, but as a time to invest in our relationship with God, our community, our calling, building deep friendships, pursuing passions, and all that good stuff. Find yourself, thrive with God in this. That you have God. Go on dates with Him. It is okay to be alone. You do not always have to have someone by your side. When the time comes, the Lord will provide. But for now, enjoy His company. Build friendships, be in community, find your passions and chase them with Him. Do not leave him behind. Okay, we need to fight loneliness as well and comparison, which is quite hard, and it is real, and it can come with comparison and jealousy, and it's not a wrong thing to feel. To feel, it's okay to feel when you're lonely. Like, just talk to God. You can combat those feelings with investing in community and practicing gratitude, especially, and finding comfort in God's presence through prayer and just enjoying God, because He is always there for you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. He will help you through it, even when you do not know how not to be alone or not to be lonely. Ask Him to help you feel His presence, feel His comfort, feel that you're not alone, because He loves you, and He wants to always be close to you. He wants to be the first person you run to when you're alone. Yes, you do not have anyone to text at night or to talk to, but He is there. You can talk to Him before you sleep or when you feel alone. Tell Him, God, I really feel so lonely. I just want to cuddle with someone. He will be there. He will be there smiling at you, and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm right here, my baby girl, my baby boy, you know." Anyways, I think I'm being a bit too dramatic, just a tiny bit. But you know what I mean. Yeah. Enjoy your God, okay? Your dad, your father, your best friend, all right? Your husband, okay? Okay. Let's just, talk about some practical steps. And I just want to encourage you all. And yeah, just let go of that checklist. Come on, guys, let us let go of that. It's okay to pray specific prayers. I'm not saying do not pray that your husband should be a musician. It's okay to be specific. Tell God what you want, but also leave space for grace. Those men, those women are not gonna be perfect. No one is perfect. We're not either. You need to focus more on their character. Yeah, focus more on their desire they have to follow Christ with you. It's not about how tall they are or how they're dressing. All of those are just additions, but we need to actually like always focus on on how much they love God too. Leave room for God to move. He knows best. Just surrender these seasons, just surrender them, and also they're like seasons of sanctification. God is like changing you to become more like Jesus. That is His overall purpose for you. So let Him transform your heart, because that is most important thing. So whether you're single or married, God's primary goal is your holiness. And this season you are in is part of that beautiful process. He who started a good work in you will finish it until the day of completion. He will not leave it. What? I don't know. I think that's how it goes. I don't know. But yeah, you know that verse I'm talking about. Yeah, let Him finish that good work He started in you. Okay? And you got this, guys. Even if you're single, just be with God. All right? thrive, be a daughter and a son. And even if you're in relationships, make God your number one, not the other person. Okay, God is still your first love, not that person. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening to the Christ Walk podcast. I may or I may not be working on a certain little thing. So, yeah, maybe or maybe not. You'll see. Wink. I need to stop that. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to me. I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Mwah.